Gary Neville and Roy Keane were left questioning why Phil Foden was not given a chance to shine as England were held to a 0-0 draw with USA in the 2022 World Cup. The Three Lions produced a lackluster performance in their second Group B fixture against USA, despite moving on to 4 points to all but ensure their progression into the knockout stages. Manchester City star Foden is often lauded as one of the top talents that the Three Lions possess, but he is yet to be handed an opportunity in Qatar. ITV pundits Neville, Keane and Ian Wright were all left in shock that Gareth Southgate didn't turn to the attacking midfielder in the later stages in a bid to chance the outcome. The 22-year-old has become a key figure for Pep Guardiola's City and has been in impressive form so far this campaign, notching 8 goals and adding a further 3 assists. Southgate also brought on Jordan Henderson in place of Jude Bellingham, a substitution which sparked confusion on social media. Neville said, "Just sometimes our midfield didn't click tonight. We looked tired at times. I didn't think we were connecting in combinations in midfield. I thought their midfield were far better, and I was disappointed not to see Foden. I know I mentioned it at halftime, but for me that talent is huge. I've not seen anything like that. I know we've got Bellingham and Grealish and others, but Gareth prefers Mount, he prefers Saka, he prefers Sterling at the moment, but for me, for Foden not to be in and amongst that in a starting 11, and to not come off the bench, is interesting." Former Manchester United midfielder Keane fully agreed with Neville, insisting he was left astonished by Southgate's decision not to utilize him from the bench. "We were surprised watching it," Keane said. "Obviously Gareth will have his reasons, of course. He's the manager and he knows the players better than anybody, but we were all surprised watching the game saying you'd fully expect Foden to come on. The subs that come on didn't really have an impact. I know they did well the other day, but England did look leggy, they looked one-paced." As Keane highlighted, Southgate did have his reasons for not bringing Foden on from the bench in the closing stages, explaining his thought process during his post-match interview. The England boss said, "We thought it was the right thing to keep the team that played against Iran from the start. And then the wide players, we went with Jack and Marcus ahead of Phil on the changes. We thought Jack would keep the ball well for us and get us up the pitch, and Marcus' speed we also thought would be a threat coming into that last part of the game." However, ex-Arsenal striker Wright agreed with Neville and Keane's assessment, while also highlighting that Foden is used to playing against teams with low block defenses. At Manchester City Foden has to deal with a lot of that low block sort of playing. He's somebody that's adept at finding those spaces and 1-2 passes at Man City where they cut it back.